Imagine you are driving on a mountain road at night. A heavy fog descends. You can barely see the hood of your car. You cannot see the destination. You cannot see the cliffs. You cannot see the turns. What is your first reaction? Fear. You grip the steering wheel tighter. Your heart races. You strain your eyes, trying to force your vision through the whiteness. You want clarity. You want a map. You want to know exactly what is around the corner. This fog is your life. We live in a world of uncertainty. We do not know if we will keep our jobs next year. We do not know if our loved ones will be healthy. We do not know how our story ends. And because we don't know, we suffer. We try to control the uncontrollable. We think, if I just worry enough, maybe I can prevent disaster. But the Sufi masters invite us to view the fog differently. They say, the fog is not there to blind you. The fog is there to make you trust the driver. Today, we are going to walk into the unknown together. We are going to learn why clarity is overrated, and why confusion might be the greatest gift God has given you. We are addicted to why. Why did this happen to me? Why did I lose that money? Why did they leave? Our intellect, our logic, demands an equation. 1 + 1 must equal 2. If we are good people, good things should happen. If we work hard, we should succeed. But life is not linear. Life is geometric, vast, and often makes no sense to our little minds. Rumi compares our intellect to a donkey stuck in the mud. The donkey tries to move, but it only sinks deeper. When tragedy strikes, our logic fails. It cannot explain suffering. And when logic fails, we have two choices. We can fall into despair, or we can ascend to a higher form of knowing. We can move from the world of Moses to the world of Khidr. Let me tell you the story that every seeker of truth must hear. The story of the man who thought he knew. Moses was a prophet. He spoke directly to God. He had the law. He had the logic. He knew right from wrong. One day, he asked God, "Is there anyone on earth more learned than me?" God said, "Yes. One of my servants knows things you do not know." Moses, being a true seeker, did not get jealous. He got curious. He traveled to find this man. He found him where the two seas meet. His name was Khidr, the green one. Moses said, "May I follow you so that you may teach me some of the wisdom you have been taught?" Khidr looked at Moses and said, "You will not be able to have patience with me. How can you have patience with something you do not understand?" This is the first lesson. The divine plan often looks like chaos to the human mind. Khidr agreed to let Moses follow, on one condition: do not ask me about anything I do, until I explain it to you myself. Moses agreed. He silenced his logic. Or so he thought. They boarded a ship belonging to some poor fishermen. The fishermen were kind. They gave them a free ride. While they were sailing, Khidr took an axe and smashed a hole in the bottom of the boat. The boat began to fill with water. The poor fishermen panicked. Moses was outraged. His sense of justice screamed, "These men were kind to us. They boarded a ship belonging to some poor fishermen. The fishermen were kind. They gave them a free ride." While they were sailing, Khidr took an axe and smashed a hole in the bottom of the boat. The boat began to fill with water. The poor fishermen panicked. Moses was outraged. His sense of justice screamed, "These men were kind to us. And you try to drown them? You have done a terrible thing." Khidr smiled sadly. "Did I not tell you that you would not be able to have patience?" Moses apologized. He promised to be quiet. Narrator: how often has this happened to you? You have a job you love, and suddenly you are fired. You have a car, and it breaks down on the way to a meeting. You have a relationship, and your heart gets broken. You scream at the sky, "I was good." Why are you damaging my boat? You see the hole. You see the water coming in. You do not see the wisdom. You do not see that sometimes God damages your perfection to save your life. Let us walk further to understand why. And you try to drown them? You have done a terrible thing. Khidr smiled sadly. Did I not tell you that you would not be able to have patience? Moses apologized. He promised to be quiet. Narrator, how often has this happened to you? You have a job you love, and suddenly you are fired. You have a car, and it breaks down on the way to a meeting. You have a relationship, and your heart gets broken. You scream at the sky, I was good. Why are you damaging my boat? You see the hole. You see the water coming in. You do not see the wisdom. You do not see that sometimes God damages your perfection to save your life. Let us walk further to understand why. They continued walking. Then, Khidr did something unspeakable. Something I can barely narrate. They saw a young boy, and Khidr ended his life. Moses could not hold back. This wasn't just damage, this was death. This was unjust. You have killed an innocent soul. Moses shouted, This is an evil deed. Khidr stopped. Did I not tell you, you cannot bear my wisdom? This is the hardest part of the journey. The death of a dream. The loss of a child. The end of something pure. When we face this level of loss, our logic doesn't just break, it shatters. We think God is cruel. We stand with Moses, judging the event by its surface appearance. We do not know what lies beneath the soil of the future. The journey was not over. Moses and Khidr arrived at a town. They were exhausted. They were starving. They asked the people of the town for some food. Just a little bread. But the people were stingy. They were cruel. They refused to feed the guests. They closed their doors. Imagine Moses' anger. He is a prophet, and he is treated like a beggar by these selfish people. But then, Khidr saw a wall in the town that was about to collapse. Without hesitating, Khidr began to mix mud and carry stones. He worked for hours in the hot sun to rebuild the wall and make it straight. Moses could not believe it. These people refused to feed us. They treated us like dirt. And now you work for them for free? At least ask for a wage so we can buy some food. Khidr wiped the sweat from his forehead and said, This is the parting between me and you. We are often like Moses here. We are transactional. I did good to you, so you must do good to me. I prayed, so God must give me what I want. We want immediate justice. We want the paycheck at the end of the day. But the wisdom of the fog teaches us something else, service without expectation. Khidr knew something Moses didn't. Beneath that wall was a treasure belonging to 2 orphan boys. Their father was a righteous man. If the wall fell now, the treasure would be exposed and stolen by the corrupt townspeople. Khidr rebuilt the wall to hide the treasure until the orphans grew up and were strong enough to claim it. Sometimes, God makes you work for no reward. Sometimes, you are kind to people who are mean to you. Why? Because your kindness is protecting a future treasure that you cannot see yet. Your patience today is building a wall around a blessing that will be revealed to you in 10 years. Do not demand the wage now. The accountant is never late. Why is it so hard for us to trust? Because of our vantage point. Imagine an ant walking across a magnificent Persian rug. The ant sees a red thread, then a blue thread, then a knot, then a bump. To the ant, it is chaos. It is a jungle of random colors. The ant complains, Why is this thread red? I wanted green. Why is this bump here? It makes walking hard. But the weaver looks from above. The weaver sees the pattern. He knows that the red thread is part of a rose. He knows that the dark black knot is necessary to create the shadow that gives the design depth. If you removed the dark threads, the carpet would be flat and ugly. You are the ant. The world is the rug. You are complaining about the dark thread in your life right now. You say, "This tragedy doesn't fit." But God says, "Wait, I am weaving a rose. And for the rose, I need this red thread of pain." Just because you cannot see the pattern does not mean there isn't one. Trust the weaver. We are obsessed with how. How will I pay the rent? How will I find love? How will I get cured? We look at the closed doors and we calculate. We say, it is mathematically impossible. But the Sufi knows the secret name of God, Muzabbib al-Asbab, the causer of causes. We usually look at the cause, the job, to get the effect, money. But God is the creator of both. He can create the effect without the cause. He can give you water from a stone, like he did for Moses. He can give you fire that does not burn, like he did for Abraham. He can give you a path through the sea. When you are in the fog, stop looking for the cause. Stop looking for the logical exit. Connect your heart directly to the causer. He can rearrange the atoms of the universe to get you out of your situation in 1 second. The fog is only a wall if you try to walk through it alone. If you walk with him, the fog becomes a cloud that carries you. Finally, Khidr said, "This is the parting between me and you. But now, I will tell you the interpretation of that which you could not bear." As for the boat, Khidr explained, "There was a king coming down the river, seizing every perfect boat by force. I damaged the boat so it would look flawed. When the king's soldiers saw the hole, they passed it by. The poor fishermen kept their boat. The damage was their safety." Think about that. That job you lost? Maybe it was saving you from a corrupt career. That illness you had? Maybe it stopped you from going to a place where you would have been harmed. The hole in your life was not a punishment. It was a camouflage. It was protection. As for the boy, Khidr explained that the boy was destined to grow up and bring terrible pain and disbelief to his righteous parents. God took him away to replace him with a child who would bring them mercy and love. The loss was actually an act of mercy for the parents' souls. We cry over things we lose, not knowing that if we had kept them, they would have destroyed us. We are like children crying because our father took away a sharp knife. We see the loss of the toy. The father sees the saving of the hand. This brings us to the core of Sufism, Tawakkul. Trust. Not the trust that everything will be exactly how I want it, but the trust that everything will be exactly how it needs to be. There is a difference. When you try to control the outcome, you are playing God. And that is an exhausting job that you are not qualified for. You do not have the vision of Khidr. You only have the vision of Moses. You see the hole in the boat. You do not see the king coming down the river. The prophet said, if you relied on God with true reliance, he would provide for you as he provides for the birds. They fly out in the morning with empty stomachs, and they return in the evening full. Do birds have fridges? No. Do birds have savings accounts? No. Do birds worry about next year's economy? No. They do their work, they fly, but they trust the wind to carry them. Are you flying? Or are you frantically flapping your wings, afraid to fall? Let us make this practical. Think of the one situation in your life right now that is causing you the most anxiety. The situation where you are desperately waiting for an answer. Visualize it as a heavy package you are carrying. Now, imagine you are standing at the door of the divine. You knock. The door opens. You do not need to say anything. He knows. Take that heavy package, the worry, the what-ifs, the need to know, and place it on the doorstep. Leave it there. And turn around. You have done your part. You have rowed the boat. Now put down the oars and let the wind take the sail. Say to yourself, whatever happens to my boat, I know the captain is good. My friend, the fog is still there. I cannot promise you that tomorrow will be clear. But you do not need clarity to be at peace. You only need trust. Rumi says, sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment. Cleverness is mere opinion, bewilderment is vision. Be bewildered. Be amazed at how little you know. Stop trying to be the king of your life and be a guest in God's house. The guest doesn't worry about what's for dinner. The guest trusts the host. Walk into the mist. You are not alone. The one who made the fog is holding your hand.